Hello and welcome to PC Quest Tech Talk. This time we have Dr. Satya Gupta, CEO of Epic Foundation. Welcome to the show, Satya.
Thank you, Ashok.
You guys started whatever your journey, whatever development process happened. If you can talk a little bit about that.
So I'll take a 30-second. How did we start the idea of founding something like a Epic Foundation, right? So about 6 months back, me and Ajai Chowdhry sir, who is the founder of HCL, we were sitting and discussing something about semiconductor electronics products. And we felt that if we look back the history of last 30 years, all the electronics brands which used to be Indian brands, Indian products are vanishing one by one, right? And today we are hardly left with any Indian brands in the electronics. And that resulted into very small share of $180 billion market which we have. And second big impact of it, if you don't have your own electronics products, the demand for semiconductor is also low because a brand which is basically, let's say, Chinese brand or a Korean brand, right? They will make the decision of what semiconductor to use in their country and whatever benefits to them. So it does not directly benefit from that point of view. And third angle is the security angle, right? Electronics products are everywhere, whether it's telecommunication, infrastructure, power grid, our defense forces. So if you don't have Indian products in those categories, you certainly expose India to basically some security holes. Things like security and surveillance camera, if the data of that can be leaked out and spoofed off, right? It is a big problem for India, right? So then we thought that, yes, can we do it? Okay. What will it take to bring back the glory of Indian electronics brands? Okay. And then we looked around. There are three important pieces which you need to have the Indian products. First, you have to have a market, which we do have. Very good $180 billion market is not a small. Right. Second is manufacturing capability. I think over the last 7-8 years, we have created very good manufacturing facilities. And third is basically manpower who can design these products, right? Right. So also we do have. Okay. But what's happening if I take the manpower? They're very happy designing for global companies and just getting the design revenues from those basically doing these things, right? Manufacturing companies are also very happy manufacturing the global products, right? They don't have any basically particular inclination that what should they do. Third is basically market. Market is also there are a lot of trading companies which basically buy something from here and put it in the market, right? But if you put all the three things together, then you have design capability, you have manufacturing capability, you have market, and you have companies which can sell, right? Now you have to create a right model for these companies, okay? Somehow convince to bring them together, make some investment in all of these things, and then the magic happens because all the three M's are already there, right? And right. Fourth M, the magic happens once you start putting this thing together. So that's what Epic Foundation is doing. We identify a product, okay? Look at the business case for that product, look at the specification for this product, then find a right design partner, right a manufacturing partner, right a business partner, and find a sales and service partner, right? And wherever needed, like for the tablet, we are funding all the development cost in the beginning. But people have to understand that if we take that market to 10 million tablets, right? I think that R&D money will be basically kind of a ROI on that R&D money is very high. 10x of the money will come back. But you have to have the enough motivation and conviction to put that $500,000 to $1 million upfront in so that the whole system can get started. And that's exactly what we are doing for Akash Ganga. Another thing we are doing is that we are not compromising on any feature or any quality. Akash Ganga will have the best of the features competitive to the global companies like Lenovo, Samsung, and best of the quality. And then on top of it, we'll bring some Indian features which we can talk basically a little while.
Okay. Dr. Satya, if you have developed 100%, it is in completely made by Epic Foundation, or you have borrowed some of the technology from somewhere and then you have started this?
We are making the product at this point of the time. We are not making the chips which go into these products at this point of the time.
Okay.
Our plan is that once we take the product to volume, so let's say this tablet goes to a volume of 1 million tablets, right?
Right.
That will automatically create the demand for SOC. Okay. Now, without the volume, if I create the SOC, then I will have to spend $50 million in this, at least in SOC. And then if I don't have the market for the SOC, then that's not the very smart thing to do. Okay. So what we are doing is that first we'll establish the market for our tablet. And then basically at some point of the time when we have enough volume of our tablets or any other product, that's where we basically bring our own SOC or the SOC developed by some Indian company or Indian institute, whatever is the best available, right? We are not necessarily saying that we have to use our own chip. Whatever is the best available chip at that particular time of point, whether it's a Indian chip, then it's great. If it's not Indian chip, we'll work something from Taiwan or US. But certainly we are going to avoid using a Chinese these products.
Okay, great. And the tablet comes with a unique feature like repairability and upgradability. Plus, you are including AI ML kind of interlingual translation, which you guys demonstrated yesterday in the event. So I want to know more about the repairability, because definitely with the most of the Chinese devices, this is a huge challenge. So how you guys are planning this thing, repairability and upgradability?
Yeah. So if you look at today's market, right? If your battery goes bad, simple thing, right? What does the manufacturer tell? If you touch the battery, then the warranty of the whole product will go away, right?
Right.
Okay. But if you somehow manage to open the device, which itself is very difficult, okay, if you see inside, there is nothing in replacing the battery. Okay?
Everything is on the SoC embedded.
It's actually very far away, right? I'm talking about battery. It is soldered on the PCB board with a 3-point solder. Okay. Right. Now, how difficult it could be to basically unsolder those 3 points and solder these points, right? But these companies have put the fear in people's mind that if you repair anything, your warranty will go away. So nobody wants to do it, right? Right. Things like when we talk about upgradability, right? Half the time you replace your phone or tablet because your memory is not sufficient, right? You want to go from 2 GB to 4 GB. You can't do that today. Okay. Right. Whereas if I go to a laptop vendor, I can go to 4 GB to 8 GB very easily. Okay. Right. So why can't we bring these kind of things to tablet also? Okay. So we are going to basically we are working on the new the mechanical ID design of the tablet, where it will be very easy to open the tablet first of all. Okay. And then instead of battery being basically soldered, we'll try to get it basically socket based. So you just take out a plug and put it in a new battery and you're done, right? It is 30-second job, right? Similarly, the memory, we'll try to basically see. A lot of people are saying that it cannot be done. But I think we have a way to, on the same device, upgrade the memory from like 2 GB to 4 GB or 32 GB to 48 GB or 64 GB, right? I think there are ways of doing it. But we just think that your intent is right, then the solution will always come. Right. So that's the thing basically on the hardware side of the new features. And we are not going to just stop with just repairability and upgradability. As we go along, we'll bring more and more differentiating features, which will help our users, right? Like a screen you said, right? We have to find a way so there is a less chance of breaking the screen, right? And it can be done with the right mindset, right? So I think you asked a very pertinent question about the screen, right? We are working on finding a solution of screen not break. First of all, replacing is little tough with the screen, but
Right.
why should a screen break? Okay. So I think all of those things are Indian ways of basically handling the good assets which we have. We reuse our assets, repair our assets, and basically upgrade an asset. And in the end, we recycle it properly. That's the Indian way. Okay. So that's why we are calling it R3 features: repair, reuse, recycle. Right. So we feel that that is something which is in the Indian DNA, and we should build our devices using those philosophies. India is a very diverse language country, and that's a very good thing. But at the same time, it creates issues when we are basically, let's say in education sector, I want to use a language which was a lecture which was created in English language to go and use that thing in basically Odisha or Gujarat, right?
Right.
Some students may not be that familiar with English, or if you want to consult somebody from one state to another state, you may not be able to understand each other's language, right?
Correct.
What we're trying to do is that we are trying to build any language to any language, especially Indian language, voice to voice to text to voice, all of those basically features. And we demonstrated one in the yesterday's inauguration, where we did basically English to Hindi, Hindi to English, all of those translations, right? I think that will be a very unique and useful feature in India, where there so many languages do exist, right? And we want to have a very inclusive kind of the society using these electronics products, right? Where everybody can participate on an equal basis, whether it's a language disability, whether it's a visual disability, whether it's a hearing disability. We want to take every citizen along with us, right? And that's why we are developing these kind of features. For visually impaired people, we will create some gesture-based basically control. So you can just like write a O and something will happen. If you write a C on the screen, something else will happen, right? So because they can't see the icons, right? So we will try to build an interface which is good for visually impaired people also. People who don't understand a particular language, and ultimately it will become a tool to interact with anybody, right? You want to interact with your Tamil friend, and you can just basically open the tablet and you start speaking in Hindi, and your friend will listen in Tamil, and you will talk in Tamil, and you will listen in Hindi, right? I think what could be better than that, right?
Perfect. I guess in 24 languages we are going to translate anything from English to Hindi or Hindi to any other language, and that is a perfect device for that. So now I would like to know one thing, like you mentioned these devices are available with educational institute or some of the other bodies. Right now it is not available in the market, the tablet. So any plan how soon we can expect this tablet available in the market?
See, our initial plan is to basically work with NGOs and state governments and all those people. I think within a year, once we have kind of established our product and brand with the original intent for which we develop the tablet, we will have partners who will take it to the market into B2C also. So Epic is not a business of selling the tablet, right? Our partners will do the selling. As I said, the business partner, right? So certainly they will basically take it to the B2C market, because I think slowly the individual needs are also growing in addition to the state and the NGO and all of those people, right? So certainly we expect 12 to 18 months our partners will take it to the market.
Dr. Satya, one more thing, conductor, you are planning to manufacture some LED driver. If I'm not wrong, these drivers are used to control the LED light brightness and their color things. If I'm wrong, please correct me on that.
Just give me a second. See, basic LED bulb has only two things. One is the lighting element, and one is the Okay, so LEDs are basically we plug it in regular AC power, but the LED elements require a constant current DC voltage, right?
Right,
So
right.
we take the AC voltage, convert into constant current DC voltage, and give it to LED elements, right? Now,
Okay.
for doing this conversion, we need a chip.
Hmm.
Okay. No, I'm not talking very sophisticated like multicolor light, dimming, all the
Okay.
mood lights. I'm talking about a basic bulb, basic
Okay.
LED bulb, right?
Hmm.
And we make about 70 crore, that is 700 million such bulbs in the country today.
Right.
And next 3 to 4 years, it will go to billion bulbs every year. That's
Wow.
where we are focused.
Okay, great.
Now you got the question.
Is there any plan that, because the shortage of chips for cars and many other manufacturing plants were facing that kind of issue. So are you guys planning to manufacture those chips also in future?
No, see, we are going to do something where basically we have a clear-cut business case to us, right? So LED chip, uh, it is a relatively simple chip to design. Okay, uses 180 nanometer type of the technology which exists in the country today. Okay, and there is a customer market. So we work with Alcoma, which is the association for lighting, and 10 top basically manufacturer and customers for this chip, right? And aligned with them that if we produce this chip, then they'll buy. So we have the design capability. Technology is simple. We have the packaging companies coming up, what we call ATMP offset plants. Okay, so only thing which is missing is the wafer production at this point of the time, right? So initially we are going to work with outside India fabs. Okay, but in the parallel we are working with the government to bring the same technology to HCL fab in Chandigarh. HCL already has a 180 nanometer technology. It needs to be augmented with one or two basically specific features. Okay? If we can augment HCL fab with those features, then we can bring back that wafer production also to India. And this will become the first large volume manufactured, design, manufactured, packaged and sold chip in India, where everything is being done in India. The market is there because the brands are there like Signify, Wipro and so on and so forth. Manufacturers are there like Dixon and others. Okay, we will design it, we'll manufacture in HCL and package in basically OSAT and ATMP facilities which are coming up. So end-to-end first product in India, high volume, which will get done if we can do all of these things. So only missing piece is upgrading HCL Chandigarh to the required technology, which is not very expensive, not very complicated. We already have 180 nanometer process. Now we have to add few modules to this to make it compatible to produce the LED driver chip. Right? So you ask about automotive chips and all those things. Yes, the opportunity is there, but Epic's approach is take product by product. Don't make anything generic, right? A specific product, find a way to design, manufacture, find the customer, or I should say reverse way, first find the customer. Who's going to buy the chip? If I make an automotive chip, who's going to buy the chip? Because most of the auto manufacturers don't directly buy the chip from the semiconductor guys, right? There are three more guys in between, right? Okay. So I need to convince my buyer that if I make this chip, just like what we did for LED, right? Will you buy? At what price you will buy? Can I meet that price? So every product from tablet to LED driver chip, we are first establishing a business case, right? So you can say it is a product-based design approach rather than design-based product. So we are not first developing the technology and then finding a market. We are first finding the market and then developing the product according to the market, right? Both the approaches, I don't say who's right, who's wrong. There is a space for every approach, but we are taking this approach. We are going to take product-driven approach rather than a technology-driven approach.
Great.
So certainly we are going to look at other chips We are looking for some GAN chips which can go into electrical vehicles. But more from a demand side, we might look at a e-passport chip as our next target.
Wow.
The reason is very simple. Demand is India, customer is Indian, right? We have security risk with this chip. Okay. So why not basically, and it could be tens of crore such chips required, right? I don't know how many passports are there, probably 25 crore passports are there, right? So, and big security risk if we don't do it ourselves, right?
Correct.
But automotive we are looking at, but we'll not do general purpose automatic. We'll pick up a specific product and then we'll do that.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Satya, for all this enlightening information.
No problem. Thank you, Ashok. A pleasure to you.